this land used to be a great battle occurred. The Battle of Confusion.
It
was fought between two cavalries.
Two cavalries.
Yes.
Maybe they got confused between cavalry and Calvinists.
Yeah.
Right?
Calvinists who wore habits. Cross-dressing
Calvinists.
Cross-dressing
Calvinists.
Yeah, it's a little known sect that people don't know about.
Yeah. Then the other one was the cavalry.
Oh, and they fought.
Right.
Of course they were confused.
Because they said, go fight the cavalry, and they thought they were fighting themselves, right? That's why it's the Battle of Confusion.
Yeah, the cavalry said, someone called cavalry and go fight in the desert. But in the confusion, someone called the cavalry.
Right.
And then they fought it out. Well, it was very unresolved. And there wasn't a lot of shooting going on. But
No.
there was a lot of arguing and debates. And they just did that until they were exhausted.
Right.
And no one died. That's why it's such a famous...
Well, one guy got a cut on a paper cut.
Oh,
on his
a
finger.
paper cut?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, on one of his scrolls.
It was more of a papyrus cut.
What's a papyrus?
Well, papyrus is a paper, right? Old paper.
Oh, papyrus.
Papyrus, sorry, papyrus.
Yeah.
Papyrus. Is a papyrus cut.
Well, papyrus, that's a different type of paper. That's also very little well known. It didn't become as popular because it was like sandpaper. And many of the cavalry were converted to the Calvinists. So in a sense, they think that in the confusion that the Calvinists won. They convinced them that they should change their ways and come closer to the God of their choosing.
Right.
And the Calvinists convinced the cavalry to hang out.
Right, right.
And they also had that oil strike.
Right, at the same time, right?
Yeah, well,
and the oil was shooting up right out of the air as the battle was going on.
Yeah, the cavalry was telling the Calvinists, look, you cap an oil well, that's what you do, and then you make money.
Right.
But the Calvinists said, no, we don't want to make money, we're in the service of God. But then the cavalry said, are you crazy, you stupid Calvinists? We can be millionaires.
Right.
And the Calvinists said, no, well, we can't. And then the cavalry said, I'll tell you what, we'll be the millionaires, and then we'll become Calvinists.
Right.
And the Calvinists thought that was a good idea.
Except you can't be a millionaire if you're a Calvinist.
But you
have to take a vow of poverty.
But the cavalry said, we don't have to do that. They wanted the money. And then they had the money, and the Calvinists, they sold a lot of oil at that time. And that was before autos. No one knows is that actually it was a Calvinist, a ruby-faced little man. He was a famous Calvinist, and he invented one of the first automobiles.
Right.
Oh, he was a raging drunk too. That's why he was ruby-faced. People were amazed that he could live on nothing but alcohol.
That's right.
You have to eat food once in a while, you would think.
You can't just live on alcohol alone.
But he said that it was God's will.
Right.
God wanted him to be drunk. You know, like he could drink all of his wine.
Right, right.
And he didn't eat food.
No, that's why he became ruby-faced.
He gave his food to the people who were hungry.
Right, he didn't give it to the cavalry.
Well, I think the cavalry, they got hungry after a while because they were hanging out and they were debating vigorously. And this was out in the middle of the desert.
Well,
in the middle of nowhere.
And
the cavalry heard there was a disturbance.
Right.
And then they wanted to run a chuck wagon road through there, but the Calvinists were there. They had started their distillery at that point. And they weren't moving because they had big clay vats of alcohol.
Hence, ruby-faced little man.
Ruby-faced little man, he convinced the cavalry to have a taste. They all got drunk and they were having...
That ruined the cavalry.
That was the famous drunken fuck-up, it was called. That's what the Indians called it. That's where the word fuck was actually used. It's one of the first times. It's little known because, you know, everyone takes the word fuck for granted.
I know.
But that was when it was called the Great Grand Fuck-Up. The green-faced little man, he would go and visit the Indians once.
Yeah. He'd tell them what was going on, right? I mean, that's where a lot of this history is an oral history that's been passed on.
It is. It was never really written down except on the sandpaper.
Right. But nobody could read it, right?
No.
I mean, ruby-faced little man was trying to write it down on sandpaper, but number one, he was too drunk because he was in a constant state of inebriation. Number two, I mean, that's why his hands were so rough, calloused, right?
Anyways, so once the oil was capped, then the cavalry took care of the finances.
Right.
But they were all gung-ho. They said, we're going to start our own Calvinist cavalry religion. They were going to combine the two.
Right.
It was going to be like priests on horses, charging ahead, warriors of God. They never did get off the property, though, did they? The Calvinists agreed to take the money as long as they didn't spend it. Because they said, well...
you have to take a vow of poverty.
They could give the money away, though. Well, then the chuckwagons, all the people migrating out to the west, and everyone heard about the Calvinist cavalry with their oil well giving out money.
Right.
And so they would go there, and people would come and they'd ask, is it true? Do you just hand out money?
And they said?
And they said, yes.
And they give the money.
Have some money. Many of them stayed because they said, why would we want to go somewhere and get jobs to make money if we can just, the Calvinists give us money?
Right, and I think this is the story of how Dallas was built.
Oh, this is the different Dallas.
It's a different Dallas.
It doesn't exist anymore.
No, it doesn't exist
There's
anymore.
only a drinking fountain that's left.
Right, with the plaque.
Yeah, it says, here drank ruby-faced the little man, and it actually pumps wine.
Right, but isn't there a plaque that commemorates the Battle of Confusion?
Oh, well, the plaque goes on for like a kilometer.
Right.
It's placed in the dirt, but it keeps getting buried. Now, if you want to go and find it and sweep dust
You have
off
to
of
see
it,
that you could read it.
but yeah, it goes for a kilometer. It's everything I just said. That's what's on the plaque.
Right. This whole
The whole
conversation.
history.
There's dialogue on the plaque.
There is, and he says, and he said,
right.
little apostrophes and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's all there. Did you know that this house is owned by the big mafia guy? He got assassinated down in Sarnia.
Ethel?
Yeah, and he was a guy.
And his name was Ethel.
And his name was Ethel.
But they called him Ethel because he used to fill up ethyl alcohol in his car all the time.
That's right. He was named after the fuel. Oh, they never discovered all his bullion.
Ethel.
Ethel.
Yeah.
He was always converting everything to gold and hiding it in things.
Well, why would he let us move it if...
Because he's dead.
Oh, because he's dead, right.
So his
son, Butane.
Oh, his son Butane, that's right.
Set up this for us.
And his nephew was Kerosene. They made a great family gathering.
That's right. They were so explosive.
Tonight, on Masterpiece Under the Microscope, we investigate funding for science, how to get it, who to get it from, and what to do once you get it. We don't have a lot of time.
No, we don't. I mean, this
Harry, the senior junior, he owns this place. He's not happy not getting paid. And he keeps on saying, I don't want this to get ugly. So I said, sure, I don't want it to get ugly either. But that's all he says too. And then he just stands there silently at the door. And I say, well, okay, so have a nice day. And he says, I don't want things to get ugly. And he gets chauffeured around in that Volkswagen Beetle.
it's got a steam bath in it, I heard.
Yeah, well, that's in the trailer. I actually tried to make some conversation, and I said, listen, that's an interesting trailer you got there. It's got a chimney, there's steam coming out of there. And I said, I hear you take steam baths in there. And I said, and he just says, I don't want it to get ugly. We should get him a facial. I said, your face is a bit dirty. You should try washing it once in a while. And he just said, I don't want things to get ugly.
Old Hickory Sticks Burness, one of the cavalry.
Yeah, it was Hickory Sticks.
Yeah,
he had artificial legs. That's why they call him Hickory Sticks.
That's right. That came from a piranha accident. He was fly fishing, but he didn't realize there was piranha, so he lost both his legs below the knee.
I know, he had big baskets of bait on his hips.
Yeah, well, that's crazy.
But the Calvinists thought it was funny, and they called him, old funny man Hickory Sticks. And he had those fucking Hickory Sticks legs. I think he got Hickory Sticks from an old broken chuck wagon wheel.
Right, yeah.
Well, he was quite welcome to there. He couldn't walk away very far, especially when he got drunk. And the Calvinists would always say, tell us your story again about getting your legs eaten by piranhas with the big baits on your head.
Right.
Old funny man Hickory Sticks Burnett,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was another character of that whole legendary camp around the oil well. At times there would be big chuck wagon gatherings. People would be throwing money in the air and be happy, and they think they were rich and everything, but they couldn't buy anything there.
I know. Well, that's when the people, the migrants from Tennessee...
They would leave eventually to go spend the money.
Make things a lot
would
easier.
Go there and pick up some cash on the way to their destination out west.
Right, where they pick grapes. Migrant workers.
Yeah, but at least they had some money to start with.
Well,
and it came from the great old Calvinists and the Calvary Calvinists with their oil well.
Today, that's why we have the Calvary Calvinist Church. Don't they worship funny man Hickory Sticks?
They're the holy individuals of that religion.
Right.
It's old funny man Hickory Sticks and ruby-faced little man. If you go into... If you can find a church.
Right. Well, there's only one.
There's only one.
And it's always moving. That's the thing. It's a mobile church. It's in a Winnebago. Always moving around.
They're always moving, yep. And they always trying to get new people to join the religion.
Right.
It's been around for a long time, but I think they've got about 25 people who join because they say they can only have a congregation that's big enough to fit in the Winnebago.
Winnebago, right.
Yeah, and they can't have any more.
Right.
They believe that there should only be a small congregation.
Right.
Or else things would get out of hand.
Oh yeah. And what's their big icon? Like, you know, the Christians have Jesus on a stick.
Well, it's a big jug of wine.
Right.
And a pile of hickory sticks.
Right.
It's the hickory sticks that you can eat. It's symbolic.
It's symbolic, much
Yeah,
like
it's
communion.
Exactly, just like communion is supposed to be the body of Christ. Well,
Right.
they use the hickory sticks are supposed to be the legs of
Hickory.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's an analog. The holy wine is 80% proof because ruby-faced little man, he had a high tolerance for alcohol.
So because otherwise, to him, it would be like water.
Exactly.
Anything less than 80%, 40%, 40 proof, he says, oh, that's like
It
water.
knocks anyone else on their ass.
Yeah.
But it's in homage to a ruby-faced little man. And
Well, they were rivals, Ruby-Faced Little Man and Funny Man and Hickory Sticks.
they were rivals for a while. Yeah, they wanted to take the religion in different directions.
Well, but that was
of
a
course.
great amelioration. And there's still a lot of people that think it should be called the Cavalry Calvinists, not the Calvinist Cavalry.
Yeah, well,
Feels that
they
way.
debate about it occasionally in their Winnebago trips when they settle down and camp for a while and start drinking and stuff. And you know, and the thing is, I saw pipes out in the back by the gas station. I bet that's the old first capped oil well.
Don't they have a list of commandments?
Oh,
The
they had
Calvinists?
commandments.
Yeah, how many do they have?
Oh, I think there was about 3.
3. Do you remember what they were?
Well, I think was thou shalt drink and not eat.
Right.
Thou shalt always carry plenty of bait.
Right.
And
Thou shalt avoid the use of fish.
serious one.
Yeah.
That one. No fish in any dish.
But it's
because-
certainly not a padded list like the 10 Commandments.
No, they were more liberal.
That's right.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things you could do. There's only 3 things you couldn't.
But we could have tourist attractions to the famous capped oil.
That's right. Here it is right here.
And-
Or
and that's what that is.
That's what that is. I didn't realize it. We're going to have to dig around.
We've
to
had a
confirm that.
revelation here. This is going to sustain our business.
All right, I'm getting a little hungry.
Okay, we better go for lunch.
We have concluded our broadcast schedule for today. Good night.
Right, it was like the Neanderthals and the Homo sapiens.
Yes?
The Homo sapiens won, right? Because the Neanderthals were too stupid.
Oh, no, I don't think they were too stupid. I think they just didn't understand economics.
Right.
They didn't understand how to create a debt and collect interest.
Well, they couldn't balance count books, right?
No, they couldn't bound.
I mean, they'd
it's well known.
Yeah.
Neanderthals were terrible.
They couldn't accountants.
As soon as they got whatever they got paid in say shekels or a big bear skull.
Right.
Well, you know what they do?
They
They just party. They wouldn't
Yeah,
put
I know.
anything away
I know.
in the cave for a rainy day.
No, they wouldn't.
And the Homo sapiens, well, they would just steal everything and put that away for a rainy day.